Hello, my name is Musa Mkaliphi, standing in for Siphumelele Zondi. It's still Youth Month in South Africa, and this week we are celebrating young women who have founded Asikana Network in Zambia. We'll also go to Kenya, where we will meet Laban Okune, creator of an app that helps people beat traffic. Our studio guest this evening is Samantha McClark. We'll talk about how young people can find help in tech incubators to assist with their ideas. We are live, so find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za, on email. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Now let's start with technology and social media news. American intelligence announced that they destroyed the building that housed members of the terrorist organization Islamic State in Syria after studying a selfie. The selfie revealed where members of the group were hiding, and that led to intelligence to find them. Anda Gwagwa has the report for us.
We upload selfies on social media almost on a daily basis. But can selfies lead to havoc? It seems they can, as American intelligence recently revealed that it destroyed an Islamic State headquarters in Syria after the group's member uploaded a selfie on social media. It was this selfie of Abu Ahmed that American intelligence says assisted in locating where the group was hiding. In less than 24 hours, the U.S. Army jet figured out their whereabouts and bombed the headquarters as a result. As the U.S. Army constantly monitors social media to find threats, ISIS also used the same method to recruit members, as they tried with a South African 15-year-old girl earlier on this year. This is something that concerned State Security Minister David Mahlobo.
Our biggest challenge is our cyberspace, where it is borderless. It provides opportunities for communication, including economic growth. And ISIS at this point, because of their nature of their work, they are trying to recruit people without putting their foot in the country.
In April, SABC journalist Hasina Gori told us here at Network how she investigated the recruitment methods of ISIS.
We went online, we searched various sites, we tried to see where, how, and how we can get through it. And what we found was one site where a self-proclaimed jihadist claimed he was from South Africa and that he could assist people who wanted to come to Syria.
Gori says ISIS spends a huge amount of time monitoring people's posts before finding sympathizers and then approaching them on private platforms on the internet. Selfies are fashionable nowadays, and people really enjoy sharing their funny faces with the world. But what we are learning here is that they can be used by state agencies. So maybe even if you're not a member of a terrorist organization, make sure you're not in the wrong place or breaking the law before taking a picture and posting it on social media. Otherwise, you might find yourself in the line of fire.
As we continue with our Youth Month celebrations, we go to Lusaka in Zambia, where we meet up with a group of young women called the Asikana Network. They assist young girls and university students get involved with the world of tech innovation.
These girls, gathered in the Zambian capital, Lusaka, are in the middle of a game development workshop. Among them is Chisenga Muyoya, who is the co-founder of the Asikana Network. She remembers how it all started 3 years ago.
So Asikana Network started when myself and the two other co-founders, Regina Mtonga and Elambewe, were the only 3 female participants at a workshop that was hosted by Bongo Hive on mobile applications development. So we started looking at ways to involve more women and to get more women to participate.
Asikana is the local dialect for girl. This network has grown in leaps and bounds since its inception.
I would say we have about 500 members in total, because we have different target groups, and we have different programs for each target group, which are the ones who are in college and the ones who are in high school, as well as the ones who are working. So for the ones who are working, we have things like networking sessions, whilst for the ones in college and in high school, we have training sessions like the one that's taking place today.
Chisenga was named a 2013 My Lead Fellow by the Moremi Initiative Leadership and Empowerment Development. She was one of the 28 women chosen as Africa's most promising young women leaders. She developed SmartCare, Zambia's national electronic health record system. This particular workshop is hosted by Bongo Hive, which is Lusaka's innovation hub.
A huge shift when you consider the number of people that are now walking into Bongo Hive, or those that attend our events. and also from a policy perspective, whether it's government, whether it's a technology regulator, there's a lot more interest from people to get into the technology space. Right now there's a lot of opportunity in the hardware space with robotics. Women in technology is a big issue.
Sita Nkube is running today's workshop. The 20-year-old is a mechatronics student in the University of Lusaka and also a member of the Asikana Network. Today's learning session is very fast-paced.
I never actually considered myself an entrepreneur or even a self-starter before that. But once I joined Asikana Network, I was able to form my own groups and start working on my own projects, which it was pretty life-changing. In fact, it has been pretty pivotal in my life. There is a huge possibility for it to grow, especially with things like the ZejuPad and people looking more into mobile solutions. Games are a great platform on mobile, are great on the mobile platform, so people can look into that more, so I'm expecting it to grow.
The network's latest project is a healthcare mobile application.
We at Network have been celebrating Youth Month by profiling young individuals that are making their mark in the tech space. And now this week, we look at a young Kenyan innovator who has made an app that helps motorists navigate their way out of the nightmare that is traffic in Nairobi.
Growing up in the village in Western Kenya, Laban Okune dreamt of being in what was then seen as mainstream careers, a doctor or a teacher. It is only when he was admitted to the university to study commerce that he decided to switch to the inaugural computer engineering class. This was the first time he saw a computer. It is as a 2008 computer engineering graduate sought employment that he saw one of the gaps in Kenya's transport sector, a problem that affected many commuters plying various routes within the capital, Nairobi, using public transportation, the matatu as it is known in Kenya.
Which matatu do I take to get here? So I had, as a new person in the city, I had the same challenges. So I was like, I wish there was somewhere that I could just query this information.
That remained a thought. Fast forward to 2012, Okune, now employed and driving, saw yet another gap in the transport sector, Nairobi traffic. It was time to get a solution. Okune joined the ever-growing Kenyan tech scene with a solution, Mathri Route, a platform that crowdsources information on the country's transport sector. Mathri Route is a mobile, web, as well as text-based application currently being used by more than 200 people daily.
We source content from social media, from our mobile apps, from our website, and we've created this thing where now we propagate the same back to the crowd through the same channels.
Traffic congestion, the Kenyan government estimates, cost the Nairobi economy at $600,000 a day. Mathri Route is seeking to change this through an application that helps Kenyans evade traffic. From a one-man show, Mathri Route now employs 8 people. It is already making money through advertisements on the various platforms. Okune says he's now targeting to influence policy decisions on Kenya's transport and infrastructure sector through trend analysis using data that he collects through various Mathri Route platforms. Kenya is just the start, he says.
We are targeting most of the African capitals, and then move with Indonesia, and then there's also a gap. So we've done a bit of market research, and we've seen that the same model can be replicated in these cities that are facing the same challenges.
As South Africa marks the Youth Month this June, Okune has a challenge for young graduates still waiting to get employed.
Look at the gaps that exist, that there's a lot of teething problems that can be solved using technology. So if they can give a shot at that and create more employment, that would be better.
A lesson that Kenyan techies are not taking lightly. For them, any challenge can be solved with an app. Sarah Kimani, SABC Network, Kenya.
Now let's take a look at what's making headlines in the rest of the tech world with Lebu Sijake and digital news producer Matiba Sibanyoni.
The International Telecommunications Union had given South Africa until the 17th to switch from analog to, well, digital. South Africans were asked by the Digital Migration Program to switch from using the antennas on top of their roofs as a form of signal transition to DTT before the analog signal gets switched off by 17th June deadline. During an interview with Morning Live, Mokhetle emphasized that although the signal will not be switched off on Wednesday, the digital migration program will not take any responsibility for any signal disturbances.
It is going to affect the people who use the antenna on top of your roof or on top of your television. If you are watching television right now using a dish, then you are not going to be affected.
South African government promises to have these and to switch to digital pretty soon in the next couple of years, although we had already missed the deadline by 3 years.
Okay, next couple of years is when exactly?
Well, he didn't give a specific time. He said in the coming months or years we will be working on it. So hopefully it will be in the next couple of months.
Wow, that's really like they left it dangling.
Exactly, we're not sure.
Virtual reality gear was a big hit at this year's Electronic Entertainment Expo, otherwise known as the E3.
It was amazing. It was a little bit complicated at first because you don't use your hands, you just use your eyes and you look around and you see all this great stuff.
The gaming gear was promised by the industry's giants, Microsoft, Sony and Oculus Rift. Seems like the gaming market leaders stayed true to their word by showcasing the virtual reality gaming gear at this year's 2 days E3 convention held in California's Los Angeles from the 16th to the 18th of June.
Well, ICASA this week gave Vodacom the green light to buy Neotel for a whopping 7 billion rands, but there's been a lot of complaints. The regulator's word may not be the final say in the matter, as the Competition Commission is responding to requests from competitors that the Neotel tie-up may not be in the best interest of the public or fair competition. Vodacom, however, says the deal will not distort competition.
Now, good news for all the techie people that are planning to visit India's Taj Mahal, as the famed monument has introduced a new Wi-Fi hotspot.
Visitors of the Northern Agra City Monument need not wait any longer to share their pictures and check in on their social media accounts anymore.
Well, that's it from us this week. Join us again next week for another wrap of the most interesting stories doing the rounds. I'm Matiba Simonyoni.
And I am Lebogang Sijake, and from us, it's ciao for now.
We'll now go for a quick ad break, but stay with us as we will be talking to Samantha Mann-Clark after the break. Stay with us.
Why in the 21 years of democracy, the issue of dialogue around this symbol is still being envisaged?
Conversation does not replace the actual transformation.
History is history. You don't choose it, it's there.
Is it important to maybe have some symbols that are not so good to remind us of what must never ever happen again?
The generations to come not to know the face of an oppressor. They must know that face. They must go somewhere and look at that face and say, this is the kind of face, this is the kind of a person we do not want to see in future.
We must never forget to include the heritage of the Khoi and the San people.
They are foremost indigenous people in this country, which is the Khoi and the San. That's why Clay of the coat of arms.
I've been trying to pronounce that for years.
That's Rights and Recourse, Sundays 2 p.m. on SABC News.
Welcome back. You're still watching Network. A group of high school learners in Cape Town celebrated Youth Day by building robots to encourage others to take science and engineering courses. The young woman in the STEM program, spearheaded by the Economic Development Organization MEDO, is targeting female learners for the construction of Africa's first private satellite next year.
Some Cape Town learners got their hands dirty by building a small jiggybot in the hope of being part of the first private construction of a satellite on the continent next year. The budding scientists sacrificed their public holiday, applying their minds to this technical field, a skill which is much needed in the country.
We should go into this because we have to be independent, even because engineering has been situated as a guy thing. So I would say yes, young girls should actually go into this thing.
Making science and technology appealing to young women has been highlighted during the workshop.
I am fond of it and I'm thinking of going to a career where it will help me, and this helped me a lot to choose where I want to go. It also gave me an idea of what I want to become.
Later this year, summer learners will be taken on a one-week-long program where they will be taught to read data from a weather balloon. The satellite program will commence thereafter. Carmen Lochenberg, SABC News, Cape Town.
An inspiring insert indeed. Now here to talk to us about various facilities that young inventors such as those young girls in the insert can go to in order to turn their ideas into realities and become key players in the ICT sector is Samantha Clark, manager of tech incubator Josie Hub. Hello Samantha, welcome to Network.
Thank you so much, Musa.
Thank you so much for coming. So first
Pleasure.
and foremost, tell us what Josie Hub is all about.
Okay. Josie Hub is a co-creation space here in Johannesburg. By that we mean there's a co-working space for young entrepreneurs to have a desk space with good internet connection, a boardroom for private meetings, that type of thing. There's also an event space where we hold up to about 20 events a month. And those events consist of anything from profit versus cash flow workshops to hackathons to developer workshops. So it's a space and a community where young people can come together and collaborate and start their businesses and run their businesses.
All right, now Samantha, we've seen a lot of initiatives that try to get young people involved in science and technology. Do you think that you are going about it the right way?
I think that what I've seen being at Josie Hub is young people coming in. It's always a little bit daunting starting your business and getting your idea off the ground. And when there are other, like-minded people, other young people like yourself trying to get their business off the ground, there's a sense of kind of camaraderie that you're not necessarily on your own. And it is a very lonely thing, starting your own business. So I do think that it is certainly a step in the right direction. Hubs like Josie Hub, and I think that we could have many more across the country, where young people can really gather and gain some knowledge and talk to people about their ideas.
All right, now Samantha, what do you think that incubators such as Josie Hub mean to young startups in the country?
I think it is a place of support. We don't have a set program that everybody goes through. Startups, young entrepreneurs are at different levels of their businesses, so we treat them as that, as individual businesses. But I think that where places like Josie Hub can really make a difference is in just providing that support, not just the workspace that's professional and exciting and invigorating for a business owner, where they can gain knowledge and skills, but also just as a support to give guidance and focus and that kind of thing. So I do think that we could all be doing a lot more, and we need more hubs like Josie Hub.
Right, speaking about more, you find that people, or young people rather, in rural areas and townships are not very informed about these hubs such as Josie Hub. How do we then begin to engage with them and get them involved in these initiatives?
Look, first of all, we need more, as I've said before, we need more hubs like Josie Hub. There's a few already that are here in Johannesburg and Pretoria, but we do need more, and we do need more that outreach into other communities. what we find is a lot of our young startups might not have the money at this point in time to travel to Josie Hub or to Braamfontein from where they live. So we do need these kinds of incubators and these kinds of hubs as outreach programs into other communities so that they can gain access to these types of organizations.
All right, now Samantha, we've just seen this insert about young Kenyans who are very innovative and getting involved in technology. But what do you think is holding us, the young South Africans from doing the same thing?
I think it's access to information, and as I said, that's why, putting on the 20 events for the community, kind of gaining knowledge in that way. But I think it's access to information and just having the support structures there that help you move forward and take your idea forward. So, my advice to young people would be research as much as you can around the kind of idea that you have or the technology that you're looking into. There's a lot available on the internet. If you can gain access to that, that's a stepping in the right direction. Try and connect in with a hub. Even if you become a member and just go to some of the events, talk about your idea, because someone said to me once at an event, nobody ever became famous because of a secret. Share your idea, don't be scared to do that, and let people help you and give you advice to move it forward. And so if you are a young person that's out there interested in getting into tech, you've got an idea that maybe tackles an issue in your own community or something you think could really help people, look up, research as much as you can, and try and get into a hub situation or part of a community that can give you that support.
All right, then maybe tell us in terms of economic development, how do you think these tech hubs play a role in terms of, employment towards the youth?
I think that if we had more of these hubs and we could nurture and grow young businesses. At Josie Hub at the moment, we've got about 30 that work from within Josie Hub space. If we could get all of those 30 that are there at this present time on a journey where they have learnt enough and have grown their business enough that they can start to employ other people, that's how I think we can really make a change in the country. So, the hubs need support. All of the hubs need support. We need corporate local support. We need more of them so that more young people can come and grow their businesses and employ other people.
Sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt you there, but time is up. But thank you so much for joining us, Samantha.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you are still watching Network. Stay tuned.
This week we are taking you around the continent, telling you stories about what makes Africa, Africa.
We now head to the Kenyan coast, where we meet a man using needles to fight a growing drug culture.
A recent study revealed that there are 850 drug addicts in Diani alone, with over 220 using injectable drugs such as heroin.
In my community, I've seen a lot of these people suffer.
The Journal, every Saturday at 1:30 on SABC News.
Welcome back to Network. Microsoft recently launched its dual SIM smartphone range, the Microsoft Lumia 640 and 640 XL. Producer Lebu Sejake walks us through her experience with the Lumia 640 XL.
This is the Microsoft Lumia 640 XL. After spending considerable time with this handset, I must say it's an easy-to-use device as long as one is familiar with the Windows 8.1 operating system. The Lumia 640 XL has 2 SIM card slots, which is a plus for those with multiple phone numbers. Now, for those who live on their social media pages, the mobile phone comes with all the goodies such as your Facebook, Twitter and Instagram already installed. Other apps such as Fitbit for the fitness fanatics and music applications Play Me, which I can admit is my favorite, also comes with the phone. Some selfie lovers might not be so thrilled with the phone's 5-megapixel front camera, but average mobile photo takers might find the 13-megapixel camera just okay. Now, for those hardcore techies who buy smartphones for storage purposes and software, the Lumia 640 XL has a 5.7-inch HD LCD and a 720p screen resolution. Other specifications include 1.2 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon quad-core processor, 1 GB of RAM, 8 gigs of built-in storage, expandable via micro SD card up to 128 gigs. The Microsoft Lumia range was first unveiled at the Mobile World Congress held in Barcelona, Spain in March this year and is now available in South Africa.
That's it from us this week. Please find us on social media, SABC Network, on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email. State-of-the-art cameras, we leave you with a video of astronauts having fun out of space and of the planet Earth's very first close images taken with state-of-the-art cameras. Now from me and the rest of the network team, it's thank you and bye-bye.